Well, then he tried to get in the Huron Mountain Club because a lot of his friends from Detroit were in the Huron Mountain Club. That was about 1916 and 17, and he was running for the senator from Michigan. He lost that, and they wouldn't let him in the club, but he was determined to get in there, and he had friends that were in the club, and eventually he bought 350,000 acres over there by Lawrence, and that was in the 20s. He bought it from Mr. Hebbard, and Mr. Hebbard became president of the club, so Ford was a frequent visitor there, and he used to come up there with his friends, Harvey Firestone and Tom Edison. In 1922, they were there. Chris Anderson, my old friend from the Homesteader on the Plains, was a guide at the club at that time, and he told about cooking for them. He had all of them over there, Mr. and Mrs. Ford, Mr. and Mrs. Firestone, Mr. and Mrs. Edison. And he said they were talking about Edison right there, talking about him, and he's right there. But he couldn't hear. And the only time he wanted him to hear what they were saying, they'd yell in his ear. And then he didn't hear either, but he hear a little bit. So, and then Chris took them all out in a big boat, in the Bentley boat, up on Mountain Lake. There was 7 people in that boat. And he rowed them around the lake, and I have that boat. So, and the only proof that they were all riding in it was that I tell people that.